Good, happy Tuesday morning, November 24, 2020. I'm Riley King, and welcome to the Riley King Newscast, right here on the Riley King Network. We have a lot of news to get to this Tuesday morning, so let's begin. But first, we're going to begin with the weather. Windy, chilly into today. Let's take a listen to that weather video from meteorologist Mike Haddad.
Certain times, it's okay to feel worried or lonely. You're not alone. Even while you're at home, we can help. Riverbend Community Mental Health. We're here for you. Take time to be kind to your mind.
Thank you very much for joining us, Stormwatch 9 Weather on the Web, moving through the last days of November, including, of course, the Thanksgiving holiday. So what does the weather present to us? Well, quite a few changes marching in our direction. Right now, busy winds out of the northwest, driving in some chilly air, below average temperatures tonight, tomorrow night, early on Wednesday. Speaking of Wednesday, a very weak system may deliver a very light snowfall to northern New Hampshire and a couple of scattered snow showers, even in parts of southern New Hampshire. A bit milder with rain showers likely on Thanksgiving Thursday, followed by a bright and milder, pleasant day on Friday. So dry air building in from the north and west. Few flurries in the mountains. Outside of that, it should be dry through about later tomorrow night into early on Wednesday morning. But all of us sharing the cold air building in with that northwesterly wind. So in addition to temperatures tonight near 20 north and around 30 south, and highs tomorrow only in the mid-upper 20s north to around 44 south, those busy winds will make it feel even colder, and those wind chills about 10 degrees lower than the number on the thermometer. Wednesday, a couple of snow showers, especially northern and central New Hampshire. A light accumulation not out of the question. Then slightly milder, occasional rain showers on Thanksgiving, followed by a bright and milder, pleasant Friday. Partly sunny Saturday, a very slight chance of a mixed or snow shower north and a mixed or rain shower south. Then bright and cool on Sunday.
Okay, and that was a look at your weather from meteorologist Mike Haddad. So, a chilly one out there today. Make sure you bundle up, everyone. Now let's take a look at your COVID-19 updates right now. There are 445 new COVID-19 cases reported in New Hampshire on Monday. Let's take a look at that from WMUR News 9.
In uncertain times, it's okay to feel worried or lonely. You're not alone. Even while you're at home, we can help. Riverbend Community Mental Health. We're here for you. Take time to be kind to your mind.
Tonight, New Hampshire has now surpassed 18,000 total cases of COVID-19 just 3 days before the start of the holiday season. Good evening, everyone. I'm Jennifer Vaughn.
And I'm Tom Griffith. The state adding 1,000 cases in just 2 days. DHHS just releasing the latest numbers. There are 445 new cases today with a daily positivity rate of 3.7%. Now that brings total positives since the start of the pandemic to 18,042. There are now 4,304 active cases, the 13th daily record in a row, and currently 121 people are hospitalized, more than tripling since November the 1st. 512 Granite Staters have died.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. And now let's take a look at your coronavirus New Hampshire key information and data. Let's take a look at that for all of you right now. And here is a look at that information for all of you right now. There are 18,042 number of people in New Hampshire have tested positive for COVID-19. 12,349,443 number of people in the United States have tested positive. 512 number of deaths from COVID-19 in New Hampshire. 831 number of people have been hospitalized with COVID-19 in New Hampshire, and 274 number of deaths from COVID-19 in the United States. Now let's take a look at this map of New Hampshire where current cases of COVID-19 are. Manchester, 743. Let's take a look at this map of New Hampshire where total cases of COVID-19 are. Manchester, 3378. Now let's take a look at these three charts here. Let's start with the first chart here. New cases each day in New Hampshire in the purple. Daily new positive COVID-19 cases. Orange, new hospitalization. And red, deaths. Let's take a look at this chart here. Total cases in the total current COVID-19 cases in the purple and current hospitalizations in the orange. Let's take a look at this chart here. Total cases in the purple, total positive COVID-19 cases. Orange, total hospitalization. Red, deaths, and blue, recovered. Let's take a look at this chart here. Positive PCR test rate and daily PCR test. Let's take a look at this chart here. Each group of cases, female and male, have cases and risk information. Let's take a look at this chart here. Infections, hospitalizations, and deaths. Let's take a look at this chart here. Deaths, percent of New Hampshire population, race/ethnicity of cases, and hospitalizations. And a reminder, your common symptoms: fever, lack of smell, cough, chills, difficult breathing, nausea, vomiting, and diarrhea. Our spreads and prevention tips. And be sure to stay with the Riley King Network for the latest of your COVID-19 information. Message from Concord School District Superintendent. The student was last at school on November 13th. The press release from Concord School District. Good morning, families and staff. This morning, the district received a notice from the New Hampshire Department of Health and Human Services that a kindergarten student in Cohort B at Beaver Meadow School tested positive for COVID-19. The student was last at school on November 13th. The principal at BMS has been in touch with every family whose child was in the same cohort as the child who tested positive. Given the length of time since the student was in school, NHDHHS will take no further action as it relates to the school setting. To my knowledge, the case has not yet been posted on the state dashboard. The district will respect the confidentiality of the student and his/her family. Sincerely, Kathleen Murphy, Interim Superintendent. Providers struggling to meet demand for COVID-19 testing ahead of Thanksgiving. Health officials say a negative test is not a free pass to travel. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9, Amy Cavino.
In uncertain times, it's okay to feel worried or lonely. You're not alone. Even while you're at home, we can help. Riverbend Community Mental Health. We're here for you. Take time to be kind to your mind.
Thought it would be 3-5 days. That's what the doctor said. I waited a week.
Keaton Porter says he went to an urgent care for his test.
And it was bad. We had people out in the lobby in the Belmont Mall just hanging around because there was so many people.
The wait for results kept him out of work for a week. Calls for COVID tests at the Elliott Hospital have tripled, and they are monitoring their testing supplies closely.
We count the number of tests that we have available literally every day. We know exactly how many tests from each modality that we have every day.
Over the weekend, the Elliott Central Testing Site did 550 tests. But Dr. Holly Mintz has a message for asymptomatic people.
The negative test today means you're negative today.
A negative test result is not insurance policy for people who want to gather for Thanksgiving, says the doctor. Another misconception?
Some people think that once they've tested positive, they need a retest.
Dr. Mintz says once you test positive, you may keep testing positive for weeks, even months, even after you are well and no longer transmitting the virus.
Once they've quarantined for 10 days, per the state guidelines and the CDC guidelines, and as long as they've been without symptoms for 24 hours of a fever, they can go back to work.
Providers are ramping up education about repeat and asymptomatic testing between people who had the virus and are trying to get cleared for work and people who are looking for Thanksgiving insurance to gather. Neither are viable reasons, according to the experts. Reporting live, Amy Cavino, WMUR News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. New Hampshire Food Bank providing Thanksgiving meals, looking for help this winter. Greater need than ever before. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9, Andy Hirschberger.
It will be a Thanksgiving like no other, but
In uncertain times, it's okay to feel worried or lonely. You're not alone. Even while you're at home, we can help. Riverbend Community Mental Health. We're here for you. Take time to be kind to your mind.
the food bank is doing what it can to feed the hungry and help those in need.
We are purchasing more food than we ever have previously, so donations certainly help us to continue to be able to do that and meet the needs.
The food bank has already distributed 18,000 turkey dinners for Thanksgiving and is delivering 700 pre-cooked meals to residents at the Concord and Nashua housing authorities, knowing people may be isolated this year.
An elderly person who would, go to their neighbors, sons, daughters, whoever, for the holiday that probably are going to be staying home alone.
Since March, the food bank has done 50 mobile food pantries around the state. Last year, they did just 12. Their recent Manchester pantry was the largest yet, providing food boxes to 900 families. Executive Director Nancy Mellett says it's been hard on the food bank, too. They have fewer volunteers because of safety rules.
I think that as we enter into the holiday season, the winter months, I think that the need is going to definitely increase.
Food bank officials say the best way to help is with a monetary donation, but if you want to run your own food drive, that of course would be accepted. Putting live, I'm Andy Hirschberger, WMUR News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Manchester-Boston Regional Airport expects increase in passengers ahead of holiday. Cleaning, disinfecting protocols being increased. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9, Kristen Grossa.
Comfortable for over 85 years and 4 generations.
The thing that's remarkable about this trend is how consistent it's been across the industry, regardless of where you are and where your airport is located. There are certain areas of the country that are doing better than New England, but we are seeing some strong holiday travel numbers right now.
Here at the Manchester-Boston Regional Airport, there has been an influx in passengers in the past few days, and that is expected to continue through the weekend.
Travel day is going to be a busy travel day, as it has been historically. The Sunday after Thanksgiving. So yes, we expect it to be a busy weekend this weekend.
In preparation, airport staff members are taking extra steps.
I mean, obviously the team is stepping up on our hand sanitizers and our disinfecting protocols, but all the social distancing markers have been in place. They have been in place for 8 months now.
Something they're asking passengers to pay attention to.
But we do ask that everybody, of course, wear your mask when you're inside the terminal building. That is now required underneath the governor's travel advisory and mask mandate. But also follow the local health guidelines at your travel destination as well. Just like any travel time, just make certain that you have a little extra patience and be respectful of your fellow travelers and the employees that you're working around.
Reporting from the Manchester-Boston Regional Airport, Kristen Carosa, WMUR News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Representatives propose more oversight of absentee voting, provisional ballots for New Hampshire, legislature drawing up proposals. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9, Adam Sexton.
In uncertain times, it's okay to feel worried or lonely. You're not alone. Even while you're at home, we can help. Riverbend Community Mental Health. We're here for you. Take time to be kind to your mind.
While they can't meet under the Golden Dome just yet, newly elected legislators are already at work drafting legislation for the year ahead. It's no surprise, changes to voting laws are a hot topic. Republicans are working on bills to increase citizen oversight of the processing of absentee ballots. Newly elected state rep and former state Supreme Court Chief Justice Robert Lynn wants to introduce provisional ballots, which are used in other states when there are questions about a voter's eligibility. And the student vote will face renewed scrutiny as Representative Al Baldessaro plans to file legislation that would give in-state tuition to out-of-state college students who register and vote in New Hampshire.
Either you're a resident or you're not. So this is just one way there to fix, the students here, because if they want to be staying in New Hampshire, it's only right that they get in-state tuition.
Less splashy proposed changes include requiring town and city clerks to make available electronically the list of voters who've requested, been mailed, or returned absentee ballots.
All we're saying is a document that is already available to candidates will be made available electronically instead of having to drive to the town clerk, hand them $2, and give me a paper copy.
State House Democrats may be heading into the minority, but they're filing some of their own voting bills. Given the relatively smooth transition the state made to an expanded absentee voting process and the massive turnout it generated, some reps are looking to make a renewed push for no-excuse absentee voting.
And we had a huge amount of absentee voting, yes, but you can't claim that it helped one party or the other. Who it helped is it helped the people of New Hampshire, because more people voted in record numbers, and I think that's what both sides of the aisle want, is the more people vote, the better it is for everyone.
In Concord, Adam Sexton, WMUR News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Interfaith religious services go virtual for Thanksgiving. Churches look ahead to changes for Christmas. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9, Jennifer Crompton.
In uncertain times, it's okay to feel worried or lonely. You're not alone. Even while you're at home, we can help. Riverbend Community Mental Health. We're here for you. Take time to be kind to your mind. Interfaith councils in our cities and towns, made up of varied religious denominations, traditionally gather during the week of Thanksgiving for a community worship service to give thanks.
They usually get people together in different faith traditions to sing together. And so it's a really beautiful time, and there are often an opportunity to do fundraising or a food drive for charity in the local setting.
But like so many traditions altered by COVID, this year it's virtual.
We will provide the services as a service, but also an act of leadership to stay home and stay safe.
The message hitting home.
But right now, with the pandemic going on, with the loss of jobs and other things in the news, it is a time for us to be mindful of the things that we are grateful for that which we do have.
The holy season for so many on the doorstep.
It is certainly not too soon to be thinking about Christmas and Hanukkah and other holidays that are coming throughout this season. I don't know that there is a unified choice of how we will be celebrating Christmas.
The Diocese of Manchester is not a member of the New Hampshire Council of Churches, but it tells News 9 that it's also working on guidance for Christmas. Faiths trying to find some way to offer some of their traditions with so much else turned upside down. Jennifer Crompton, WMUR News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. New Hampshire hospitals ask public to avoid gatherings, crowd this holiday season. Associations come together to ask for safety. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9, Tim Callery.
In uncertain times, it's okay to feel worried or lonely. You're not alone. Even while you're at home, we can help. Riverbend Community Mental Health. We're here for you. Take time to be kind to your mind.
We're certainly watching with great concern as the number of COVID positive cases continue to rise.
This is the letter composed by the New Hampshire Hospital Association, the New Hampshire Medical Society, and the New Hampshire Nurses Association. In it, they write, the surge of COVID-19 patients that we've all heard would be coming to New Hampshire has arrived.
A lot of hospitals are at capacity with non-COVID patients. So your routine surgeries, other patients that are coming in for further care. So that puts us in a little bit different position with now the escalating numbers.
New Hampshire was facing a nursing shortage before the pandemic.
Now we have a lot of nurses who are tired, who are sick, and so staffing is a problem.
To ease the burden caused by rising cases, hospitals are asking people to avoid gatherings and crowds this holiday season. Events, they say, have the potential to become super spreaders.
Keep it to your households, those individuals that you know, and remain safe to try to help us mitigate the spread.
Alter your Thanksgiving plans. Stay vigilant through Christmas, and maybe by then the vaccine will start to be produced, and we'll get out of this.
And with 121 people fighting COVID in the hospital tonight, New Hampshire is inching closer to its record, which was 126 back in May. Reporting live tonight, I'm Tim Callery, WMUR News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Manchester aldermen will consider leasing out the JFK Memorial Coliseum Ice Arena on Beach Street for the use as a homeless shelter during sorry about that, everyone. During the winter months at a special meeting tonight. Dow futures rise more than 200 points as Trump administration begins transition process. Stocks climbed in overnight trading on Monday following a strong session on Wall Street boosted by positive vaccine news. And Michigan officials officially certify election results for Joe Biden, and the GSA is starting the transition process for Joe Biden as well. Let's take a listen to that video from ABC News.
Good evening. As we come on the air in the West tonight, it is great to start another week with all of you at home. And we begin tonight with the breaking news. President Trump and his own words in a tweet tonight, the first and certainly strongest signal yet that the transition has now begun from President Trump to President-elect Joe Biden. And the new message tonight from the GSA, the agency that typically first signals the official transition. Our chief White House correspondent Jonathan Karl tonight leading us off with late reporting.
tonight, President Trump is finally nodding to reality, authorizing his team to begin the transition to a Biden administration. The move was made official by the General Services Administration, which will now provide Biden with more than $6 million in transition funding and office space in government buildings. The president implied he had signed off on the move, tweeting, quote, "in the best interests of our country," and he said he had instructed his team to cooperate as well. That should open the door to classified intelligence briefings for the Biden team and to access to the White House Coronavirus Task Force. But even as he took these steps, the president remains unwilling to concede, vowing his case strongly continues. The fact is, the president's case is going nowhere. Today, Michigan made it official, certifying Joe Biden as the state's winner, slamming the door on Trump's frantic efforts, including his summoning of Republican state legislators to the White House on Friday to reverse election results in a state Biden won by over 150,000 votes. Georgia had already certified Biden as the winner. Pennsylvania today moved closer to doing the same, as Pennsylvania's Republican senator accused the president of undermining American values.
The idea that a sitting president would try to, pressure, cajole, persuade state legislators to dismiss the will of their voters and select their own group of electors and send them to the Electoral College, it's completely inconsistent with any kind of truly democratic society.
In the courts, everything is going bust. The Trump team and its allies have suffered some 30 losses. The president's lawyers are also under fire for that embarrassing press conference last week, where attorney Sidney Powell floated a bizarre conspiracy theory she said was hatched by Venezuelan dictator Hugo Chavez, who has been dead for 7 years.
What we are really dealing with here and uncovering more by the day is the massive influence of communist money through Venezuela.
It was all too much even for Rudy Giuliani, who put out a statement saying, quote, "she is not a member of the Trump legal team." But that's her right next to him at the press conference.
I'm in charge of this investigation with Sydney and the people you see here.
Trump ally Chris Christie said it's time for the president to pack it in.
The conduct of the president's legal team has been a national embarrassment.
So let's get right to John Carl with us, and he has new reporting as we're on the air here in the West tonight. And John, back to the president's own words in that tweet tonight, because they were significant given how much he's fought the outcome of this election. 30 lawsuits, he said, from the president and his allies thrown out. So why now?
Well, look, it's a belated recognition that it's over. The options are truly over. And even some of the president's most fervent supporters are saying it's time to give up. It's time to acknowledge the obvious. Joe Biden is the president-elect. And, David, I think you're right. The significant thing here is that he seems to be also saying that he's ready to do those intelligence briefings in coordination with the Coronavirus Task Force. One other point, members of the president's Secret Service detail have gotten a request, at least an offer from the Secret Service headquarters, asking if they would like to be permanently moved, reassigned to West Palm Beach, which of course would mean to be at Mar-a-Lago with the soon-to-be ex-president Donald Trump.
All right, John Carl with the late reporting for us.
Hi, everyone.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. And thank you for joining us for this morning edition of the Riley King Newscast right here on the Riley King Network. Have a great rest of your Tuesday, and I'll see you back here later on today for another newscast. I'll have a news report coming up in a little bit. Bye, everyone.